That's right. How can we think positive and avoid those negative thoughts? And what's our compass, you ask? 5 skills. I'll break each of them down and add in a book recommendation for those of you looking to dive deeper into these concepts. As a constant worrier, these really changed the game for me. Never aiming for perfection, but progression. I find working on these 5 skills helpful to really walk the path of positivity. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's set sail. Skill number 1, I'm thinking. Pretty much going against the video title already, but really, thinking generally leads to suffering. I received this concept from Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Nguyen, and he perfectly sums it up with a beautiful analogy of a child. Ever notice that children really embody pure joy? At least a majority of the time. They don't really think, they just do. And are incredibly happy, unfazed by the complexities of thought. It's a reminder to us all that at our core, we're just beings of joy, and we just really overcomplicate things by thinking too much. So what are we to do? Not think. Well, as much when the negative starts to creep in. Skill number 2, questioning. Have you ever noticed that we generally feel awesome when our relationships are healthy and extra crummy when they aren't? That's because we're social animals / humans, and a large part of well-being stems from our relationships. I Need Your Love, Is That True by Byron Katie is a core read by asking yourself 4 powerful questions to dismantle the assumptions we make about others' intentions that may produce those negative thoughts, and from there, actions we may regret. What are these questions? Question 1, is it true? And this one here is challenging if your thought is true. And if so, move to the next. Question 2, can you absolutely know it's true? And that's the opportunity to go deeper and really affirm what you're trying to believe. Question 3, how do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? And this one's a clever question to see yourself from a third-party lens to further reflect on your emotions. And finally, question 4, who would you be without that thought? And this one turns that thought around. How would you react with the person around? Probably more positive, and you along with it. So what am I doing? For relationships where I make a judgment, I just immediately flip it to question 1. Going to skill number 3, communication. And based on the questions you ask yourself, there'll always be a time when you need to speak with the other person to understand them, and especially constructively. Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg is just the perfect toolkit for heartfelt, genuine communication. Marshall teaches us the art of observing without evaluating, a skill that turns potential conflicts into moments of connection. Instead of saying, "You never take my advice," we learn to express our observations without judgment by becoming more constructive. In this case, you could turn around and say, "I noticed you ignored my advice that last 7 times requested. Why is that?" That one's much more tactful, precise, and powerful. There's something about being specific that eliminates any gray area and interpretation to move things forward. Next up, skill number 4, acceptance. Do you ever feel this itch in the back of your head that you're not doing enough? I know I do, all the time. And it leads to negative self-talk. Whether it's comparing yourself to others or simply the ambitious laundry list you place on yourself, the skill of acceptance is something that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around, and I'm trying to learn, because we really can't do everything for everyone because of the limited time we have. Which is why 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Burkeman is my recommended for acceptance. This book teaches us the quest for efficiency, and doing it all is just a mirage. Instead, it invites us to prioritize what truly matters and accept the other things or asks that will just have to wait or not be done. And I love especially the adage to really pay yourself first, because it's about really filling your cup first so that when it overflows, it can go overflow into the lives of others. And since I'm on this analogy roll, it's like when flying, putting on your oxygen mask first and then to help others. Moving on. Last one, skill number 5. Breathing. Ever caught yourself in a whirlwind of thoughts, feeling stressed and anxious, you're probably conducting some shallow breathing like what I do. What I've learned is take a step back and just lap in one of the most vital resources we have available: air. It's an easy, convenient, and cheap way to instantly reset your thoughts. The perfect formula: inhale 5.5 seconds and exhale 5.5 seconds. That should be about 5.5 breaths in a minute. Try it right now. While you're breathing, this was inspired by Breath by James Nestor. And it goes into the science and uncovers that most of us are just not breathing enough. We're just breathing enough to survive and not thrive. And by deepening our breath, we can calm the stormy seas of our minds. It's like discovering a secret button that brings us back to a state of calm and clarity. Who knew the path to peace was just right under your nose, right? Am I right? There you have it, book clubbers. 5 skills and 5 books to think positively and avoid those negative thoughts. And speaking of thoughts, what are your thoughts? Have you read any of these gems, or do you have any others that you want to share? Drop your insights in the comments below and discover some new ones. If this journey resonated with you, smash that like button and share this video with somebody who could use a sprinkle of positivity. And don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, keep breathing deeply, observing gently, and loving fiercely. Catch you in the next video.